Hey, come see us do live shows January 3rd in Los Angeles, Honolulu after that, Baltimore, Maryland, Atlantic City, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Guess what they're doing in Congress now? So, you know, Kash Patel is nominated to be the head of the FBI, and he said he's going to investigate the January 6th committee and other people in Congress for their crimes. It sounded like he might even go after insider trading of Nancy Pelosi and what have you. But guess what they're doing on their way out of office? Joe Biden, the establishment Democrats and establishment Republicans are joining together to make it illegal for him to investigate members of Congress, meaning the January 6th committee. So this is from Abuse. They put it in a continuing resolution bill, and a continuing resolution is how they fund the government now. Right. So they need to get more money to fund. So instead of getting an actual budget, they do these continuing resolutions. So on the heels of the report that the Department of Justice obtained the emails of Adam Schiff, one of the big Russiagate liars, and Eric Swalwell, proving they leaked classified documents to the media, Congress has inserted language into the continuing resolution bill, allowing it to quash any subpoena that Kash Patel or Pam Bondi, the new attorney general, might issue for House data. This is true. This is real. So if Kash Patel wants to subpoena any data, like emails and stuff that would incriminate them as lying during the January 6th committee or doing insider trading or anything, they've now made it illegal for him to do so. So he can't do an investigation. That would make any investigation into the January 6th committee all but impossible. It would cripple any investigation into Adam Schiff and Swalwell as well. So just following the pristine example of the Pfizer Corporation, nothing decries your innocence more clearly than forbidding anybody to look at it. Huh. You can't even do an investigation. Here is, so this guy's going to let us know, John Harold, he's going to let us know, guys, this section of the continuing resolution is insane, he says. Why is this included in a spending bill? Why are they trying to make this a thing at all? What are they hiding? And here, I'll just show you a little clip of it.
Somebody is looking in and trying to get her data, her house data, okay? That's part one. Part two in that.
So they made it illegal to get any data on anybody in the house. That's part one. Here's part two.
It says, motions to quash or modify. Upon a motion made promptly by a House office or provider for a House office, a court of competent jurisdiction shall quash or modify any legal process directed to the provider for a House office if compliance with the legal process would require the disclosure of House data of the House office. So this allows any House member who gets their emails subpoenaed, let's just, again, hypothetically by a grand jury, to quash that subpoena, pretty much no questions asked, it says here. That is insane. And then it goes on even further. In the effective date section here, any legal process seeking disclosure of House data of a House office that is filed, issued, or made on or after the date of enactment of this act, so anything, today moving forward, or anything that's pending on or after the date of the enactment of this act. So anything that was filed before and is a matter pending right now, they can quash it and make it disappear. Why the fuck is this in a spending bill? Make it make sense.
Huh. Well said. Sandy says they're sabotaging Trump's Department of Justice. That's exactly what's happening. If this passes, any member of Congress that has committed a crime against the United States basically gets away scot-free. And their emails, faxes, and etc. can't be used against them in a court of law. Absolute insanity. They are protecting the January 6th committee. They are protecting the coup that Nancy Pelosi and the other House members perpetrated against the American people. And because they are so brilliant and such great improvisers, I'm sure you have thought ahead to the reality that now Trump can use all these same rules for himself and his cabinet. On his way out the door, they can pass laws saying, hey, by the way, you can't subpoena anything that Trump did or any of the Republicans he worked. He can now do the same thing. Or is this one of those rules for thee but not for me? But Trump is now on the other side of the wall with you. He's one of you. So that call's coming from inside the House. Of course they're protecting the January 6th committee, the most clumsily handled fiasco since the multiple attempts on Trump's life. Actually, they've effed up so many things in a row, they should qualify to be a season of Curb Your Enthusiasm. So that just to let you know what the Democrats, remember the host of Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live said, I'm voting for what did he say he was voting for? Not dignity. Why am I blanking on the word he said?
Integrity?
Something like that. I'm voting for integrity. I'm voting for democracy. I'm voting for he had another word. But anyway, so just so you know, this is what the establishment Democrats, here it is. I'll read this to you. It says, a court of competent jurisdiction shall quash or modify any legal process directed to the provider for a House office if compliance with the legal process would require the disclosure of House data of the House office. Oh, I'm voting for decency. Thank you, Misha. He said, I'm voting for decency. This is straight up criminal corruption by the Biden administration, by the establishment Democrats and the establishment Republicans. This is straight up criminal corruption. And they're covering up their criminal corruption. And they say Donald Trump is the big liar. He's the guy who's undermining democracy. What do you call this? Hey, come see us do live shows January 3rd in Los Angeles, Honolulu after that, Baltimore, Maryland, Atlantic City, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.